I deleted TikTok and it's the best decision I've ever made. TikTok is something that literally just makes you so worried about things that will never impact your life. Things that don't move the needle as far as losing weight, improving your life, whatever it is that you're trying to work on, it's gonna not contribute to any of that. And I know you're gonna think like, well, there's so much information on there, I could just use it for good. But we all know that that's not how you're gonna use it, or at least majority of the time. And so the worst part about something like TikTok, and I'll go into it, but it's just social media in general. It's not just TikTok. The reason that I delete TikTok specifically is because I don't need it for my business to grow. And so the only reason I have, other socials, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, is because I need it for my business. But if I didn't need it, then I genuinely wouldn't have it, or I would barely use it to, message some people here and there. But the thing is that it just has you worried about all external things in your life. And so when you're just constantly keeping up to date with other people's life, or conspiracy theories, or politics, all these things consume your life. And I've been there, I've done it, where I'm really like locked in on all these things, all these conspiracies, and I'm like, I can't even sleep at night because I'm thinking of, what's gonna happen with this and that, and people are talking about war and politics and all these other things. And that's the one aspect of it, right? It's like super bad because you're worried about things that will never impact your life. You're worried about people's lives that they won't even know you. But instead of worrying about your own life, you're worried about, so-and-so doing this, so-and-so's doing that. But the worst part is that you're constantly comparing yourself to all these like fitness, shredded people, and it hinders you from actually seeing your real life progress. Because even if you are genuinely in shape, or you're starting to get in shape, you're seeing yourself as, I'm just comparing myself to this guy who has an 8-pack and all these things. And I was there. I would do it all the time. I literally would have so much bad body dysmorphia that the best my physique has ever looked, when I got down to about 165 for my fight to compete, I literally got so lean. I had the full-on abs, I had the vascular, I had the vascularity, I had the muscles, I had everything, right? I had worked on my physique so hard. I've worked out my entire life, but finally I dieted and I got in shape and everything was how I wanted. But yet I had bad body dysmorphia because I'm comparing myself to all these people. And it's one of the most toxic things that you can do. I don't care if you use Facebook more or use TikTok more, whatever app that you're using more and you're constantly using it to, feed this external life that you have and just, worry about all these things that will never affect you, and you're comparing yourself to other people. That's the worst thing that you could possibly do. And I'm telling you, it actually does affect not just, physically, but also mentally. It's gonna affect you, and it's gonna make, even if you are getting progress, you're not gonna like it because you're comparing yourself to all these other people. And so if you can just detach yourself from this external world and stop worrying about, the next big conspiracy theory, talking about AI and aliens and, war and this and that. It's just so much stuff that is not in your control. My father's always told me, control what you can control. And I've always, liked that saying because it really is true. He said it since I was a little kid, and I feel like it never really registered until I got older. But it's like, yeah, what else can you do? Control what you can control. If aliens show up, on Earth and it actually happens, maybe I'll address it. Maybe we'll talk about it. Maybe you can actually care about it. But it's like, what is that gonna do for your life if you're obsessing with these weird things, celebrities, politics, aliens, all this random stuff? It's not gonna get you to move forward, and it's super, super toxic. And we're not even talking about the real effects it has on your brain, the brain chemistry, how it ruins, your mood, and how it affects your dopamine levels, and how you're just used to constant dopamine hits. Literally, it's a term called brain rotting for a reason, because it actually does rot your brain. And so it's making people have very short attention spans. It's making people a lot dumber than they should be. And it's a very, very sad world if people are just getting, born into this. They're being born on iPads and tablets. And so I wanted to make this video for you guys who, maybe you've been considering deleting it, or you've deleted it before, like I used to. I would kind of delete TikTok, and then I would join it again, and I would do it, and I'll join again. But I promise you, you'll feel so much better if you just delete the app. And I have nothing against TikTok. I'm talking specifically about social media. Whatever app you use the most, or whichever one you think has the biggest negative impact, delete it from your app. And then all of a sudden, you're gonna start to really see your progress, your real life progress. You're gonna finally focus on the things that matter in your life. I'm telling you, and these two things could be a separate video where I talk about dopamine and how it actually genuinely affects your brain chemistry and how you can improve your serotonin levels to increase your mood throughout the day. And another thing I wanted to talk about was how, social media and all these things is just, it's really, really bad. And when you are, finally able to focus on your real life and being in your own world, that is a game changer. When I'm worried about all this external stuff, this could be a separate video, but I'll talk about it a little bit, is, when I'm in Gavin's world and I'm worried about what content am I gonna post, my workout, what meal I'm gonna eat, I'm worried about this, that, right? My world, that's when you're the happiest. That's when I'm the happiest, and that's when you're gonna be the happiest. When you're worried about yourself, you're in your own little world, and you're not worried about all these other people's lives and all these external things that have nothing to do with you. And so those two videos I'll make in the future, but I want you guys to go ahead and check out my Facebook. It's just Gavin Longwill, my name, or on Instagram, it's Gavin_Longwill. And you can check out all the stuff I preach, Anyone can make videos, but do they really do what they preach? And I can show you. If you go into my pages, you can see my stories, you can see my posts, you can see my daily operations, the workouts, the mindset, the clients I help, everything that I do, so you can actually get to know me better. So go ahead and check me out on those pages, and I'll see you guys in the next video.